Hello, friends, and welcome to the evening edition of Woke Wednesdays with me, host of The Danielle Moodie Show, Danielle Moodie. I wanted to bring your attention to something today, but it's not a particular news story or headline like I would do on The Danielle Moodie Show, but it's something a bit more personal that happened uh, today. And it's this. I oftentimes go on different cable news shows and have for the last 10 plus years of my career as a political analyst, as a Democratic strategist, giving my thoughts and opinions on issues of the day. And over the last few years, I have gotten a bit more um, I don't know, thoughtful about whose shows I go on and why, whether or not it's going to impact, move the needle, if you will, on how people think. And so I went on a show recently, and I'm not going to name the show. You may see it. The show will come out in a couple of days. But it is a show that brings on diverse opinions, meaning Republicans and Democrats. And roughly 15 years ago, I enjoyed going on television and sparring with Republicans and getting to the core issue of why they think a certain way and why I believe a certain way and trying to find common ground. And I realize nowadays I do not have the appetite and or the desire to be on air with Republicans at all. And here's the reason why. I accepted the opportunity to be on air with the Republicans because I thought for a moment, I said, need to stop just speaking to the choir and get out to a more diverse audience. And, we need to find a way to have common ground. And I was having a moment, right, where I said, let me do this television hit. And then during the television hit, I absolutely lost my temper. And I lost my temper not because I don't know how to temper myself for television, because in the midst of going back and forth on issues like gun control, or the fact that more Republican women are buying guns, and like, why do we think that that matters? And, then talking about, oh, mental health, and that's the reason that there are shootings and not for the proliferation of guns and the fear mongering that the Republican Party does and that the gun lobby does, all for profit, right? I'm listening to the talking points that are coming out of the Republican women who are on this panel, and I became incensed because there is no common ground to have with people that, one, support an administration that is steeped in fascism and white supremacy, and that is fear mongering. They continue to say, oh, it's just been 30 days of this administration. Give time for the process to play out. And I'm like, give time for the process to play out. In 30 days, Donald Trump has gut the FAA, gut USAID, withdrawn from the WHO, withdrawn from the Paris Climate Change Agreement, has stopped the CDC from providing research and information, has now attacking public education, which you can see on the latest episode of the Danielle Moodie Show, which is up now, Trump's dumbing down of America. That's just 30 days. So, what process is it that we should be allowing to play out here? The full rollback of the 20th century? I realize that there is no debate to be had when you are debating my rights and my life and my ability to exist free and unoppressed. So, for me, the time for civility, right, is over. I'm no longer going to be providing Republicans with some type of benefit of the doubt when they show me everything to the contrary. Why am I going to assume that you are not racist when everything that you've been doing over the last 30 days, if not the last 3 and 4 decades, has been about the impediment of progress for Black people and people of color in this country? How am I supposed to say, oh no, Donald Trump has my best interest at heart when he is placing targets on the back of the LGBTQ community, but primarily focused on the dehumanization of trans people? How am I supposed to allow the process to play out when a majority of women in this country no longer have bodily autonomy? How am I allowing the process to play out when we have put a man in charge of health and human services that has no medical degree and only bases his medical opinions on conspiracy theories that would have him believe that Black people and white people shouldn't be receiving the same vaccinations, and that some vaccinations actually cause autism or for people to be transgender? I realize, folks, that there is no opportunity here to create a bridge with people that are committed to misunderstanding you, to demoralizing you, to dehumanizing you. For so long, I have said to people, no, you need, right? Particularly if you are white, you need to talk with your mother and father and your grandparents, your aunt and uncle, your cousins who are MAGA, that it's your responsibility because they'll listen to you. They won't listen to people that look like me, right? Because they've already written us off as quote unquote DEIs, whatever that means, because only in their mind are people who are white deserving of any positions anywhere. It doesn't matter the obstacles that any of us have had to overcome. It doesn't matter the things that have purposefully been thrown in our way, that even when we exceed expectations that have been set for us, then somehow we still are not deserving. And I realize now, you know what? Don't waste your time. Don't waste your time and don't waste your energy. Because you see, in actuality, it really only is 30 to 40% of them, which means that there is still 60 to 70% of us that need to be activated, right, to our purpose, that we don't need to wait for the administration to put a target on whatever identity group, whatever underrepresented group that we happen to live at the intersections of, that when they come for one of us, they come for all of us. And so I say that I am going to spend my time not in spaces where my humanity is up for debate, but I'm going to spend my time in spaces where I can be an alarm clock to those who want to stop hitting snooze, to those who are interested in being activated and in living on purpose, right? And what do I mean by living on purpose? Meaning that there is purpose to the reason why you are here. And it isn't solely to make other people miserable because that's the only way that you find gratification in your life, which seems to be MAGA's like bread and butter. Even when these people win, they're miserable. So I'm not interested anymore in extending myself, my voice, my time in places and spaces where I have to provide reason for my being. No. What we all need to be doing is spending our time and our energy on those 10 million people that decided not to vote at all and stay home. On those people who are now waking up and realizing that Donald Trump wasn't kidding when he was talking about exterminating people, when MAGA wasn't kidding when they talked about traumatizing civil servants. That now that they see things are unfolding the way that they are in just 30 days, that it's time for those people to be woken up. It's time for those people to understand what their purpose is. And it isn't to go where I need to explain my right to be. It is in spaces and places that are expansive, that are welcoming, and that are interested and curious about the world around them and knowing more. Because what we are suffering from right now in this country is a scarcity mindset and a lack of curiosity about other people, other situations, other environments. They want us to believe that because they are in power now, that what they want is the national mandate. And we know good goddamn well it isn't. So, my message for us to get woke to on this Wednesday is to put your energy where it can be amplified. That we all need to work on being light beams in this time of darkness. Don't waste your energy on people who are committed to dehumanizing you and thinking that that somehow is progress. It's not. That is it for me today, dear friends, on this edition of Woke Wednesdays and the Danielle Moodie Show. As always, power to the people and to all the people power. Get woke, stay sane, which is getting harder to do. And in these extraordinary times, folks, please do stay safe. Be well.